people see what you do and they watch you. That's literally it. So if you're consistent and congruent with what you say you're about and that shines through, you're going to have success. You're going to have a tribe that supports you and wants you to grow. That's literally the secret. That's it. Just keep being you and being consistent with your work.
I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today, we break through. And today.
Man, so when I think about you and is the story, I think about this quote. It's, in the end, it's not what you achieve matters. It's who you become.
So true, man.
Yeah.
That is so true. And just hearing that makes me smile because I know how true that is.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So guys, this is part 2 of the podcast. Part 1, if you missed it, go back because we set the tone for this whole transformation that Alex and I have both gone through in the past year. Not only from our careers, but personally with our personal development. And we're sharing this to show you that yes, there's a success story, but what goes into it, what we become through that journey is really where the riches are. So that's what we're sharing. Yeah. Part 1 was Alex's story. Part 2, this part is my story, because like we said in the first part of this, we both had our breakthrough on the same day.
Same exact day, man.
And we both had our breakthrough success on the same day a year later from the original moment. So my first, so through pharmacy school, you had to give group presentations and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you guys probably know by now I love to talk. I mean, I got a podcast, this and that. Gum flapping's in my genes, I guess. But through pharmacy school, you had to do group presentations, and you always had to have someone present.
Yeah.
And I just did it. I was just comfortable doing that. But I always get feedback, like you're a natural speaker, like you're really able to connect with people. Yeah. You're talking from the heart. You're not scripted. It's very natural for you. And I never really took that to heart until I was getting involved with networking with other healthcare professionals of just sharing my mission. And my chiropractor actually told me hey, we do a lot of community outreach events. I know that you love to talk about nutrition and wellness, and we have a speaking opportunity at Point Park University for all of their faculty about healthy eating on the go. Wondering if that's something that you'd be interested in because we can't attend, but we would love to send someone to do this for us. I'm like, healthy eating on the go? Heck yeah. I've been a full-time pharmacist for 6 years at this time. 45-minute commute one way. I did 2 bodybuilding shows at this time, 4 bodybuilding shows at this time while being a full-time pharmacist, traveling. So I live this stuff, so I can relate, absolutely. So I did this, and then I was like, oh crap, I have to talk to 100 professionals that teach at college. What am I doing? But I was just so excited. I put in the work, I did the practice, and I was nervous because I've never had a paid gig before. I'd never talked to people of this level, at a university level. Yeah. And I just created this huge thing, it's a big deal in my mind. So I made this presentation, I practiced it, I had my notes, and I got into it, and I was speaking, and I had my notes, and I found that as time went on, because it was an hour talk, as time went on, my notes just kind of drifted away. So in the beginning, I was looking at them to make sure I was on track. But then I would just get fired up. You saw the inflection.
You put a note, on there.
I put them down and I just did my thing, and it was amazing. An hour went by super quick. I ended right on time. I had engagement with the audience. There were nods, there was clapping, there was laughter. It was super connected with every single person in that audience. And when I was done, it was this feeling that I can't even explain. It was the feeling when I decided to be a pharmacist. When I got into pharmacy school and I knew that I was meant to be there. I was like, dude, I felt so in my element.
You told me, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, what did you say to me? I was like, dude, did I do okay? What did I do okay? Give me feedback. Because I was like, what can I do better? What can I improve? But before we get there, when I ended, I had all these people come up to the audience. Oh, you're so good. That helped me. You spoke to my soul. You were describing me. It
asking
felt like
questions,
you were talking to me.
Yeah.
It felt like there were all these people in the room, but you felt like you were talking to me. And I was like, oh, cool. Later, I learned through studying speaking and how to do it, that's how you want to craft your talk, is speaking to one person, not a whole room.
Yes.
So I did these things unknowingly, but I learned so much from doing it. But afterwards, like we were leaving, I remember we left the room, we were on the elevator going down.
Exactly, on the elevator, yeah.
It was on the elevator, this one happened.
Yeah.
And I said, like, dude, are you okay? Like, what?
It's like,
what?
dude, you crashed it. Like, yeah, killed it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, really? Because I didn't know any better. Like, I was like, oh, did I do okay? But yeah, it was just like, dude, you crushed this.
Your passion is like, it's so clear. The way you begin the talk is like, I'm pumped. And it's like, the energy is like, for me, I even told you this. I didn't know that's your first time speaking. I think I told you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You're like, how long have you been speaking?
Yeah.
I'm like, today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like, okay, maybe I should like look into this. So I just love that. Like I made a difference in people's lives because it wasn't just pumping them up. It actually gave them an action plan to execute and implement practically in their lives. Like if you're watching this and you're in pharmacy school or you're a pharmacist and someone, you say like, I want to eat healthier, like I want to improve my physique. And you reach out to a nutritionist and like, oh, all you have to do is, chew 30 times before swallowing, eat a salad, make your meals fresh. That's not practical for what we do. Like we don't even get a lunch break. We got to literally chug our meal from counting a waiter to going over and like getting a doctor call. Like that's our lunch break from one point to the other. So you got to adapt and get that. So, and be practical. Like the best plan isn't the best plan. It doesn't matter what the research says. The best plan is one that you can implement and execute and stick to consistently. And that's what I do is I meet people where they are and see where they're looking to go because the goal is different for each person. And I literally do this live in my speaking programs. And I see the impact it has. I'm able to connect with people on a genuine level, and I have that action plan created right there in the moment because when I'm giving a speaking program, it's not me trying to remember my lines or this and that. Like it's autopilot. I've explained this.
Yeah.
When I'm talking, all the content's there. It's autopilot. But when I'm there, my focus is scanning the audience. So if you've ever attended one of my speaking programs at the pharmacy schools or pharmacy organizations I've spoken at, you'll notice that my eyes are like crazy eyes. Like I'm looking at the audience, making sure that there's engagement, making sure that they're in the moment, because if they're not paying attention, that's on me. That's my responsibility. So I need to pivot and make a change to bring them back. That hasn't happened very often because I'm pretty out there, which is part of what really is unique about me with speaking.
You can engage people right away.
Yes.
Because your energy is really high. It actually raises the energy of the audience.
Yes.
So I don't know the psychology behind it, but once we really bring our energy as a speaker really high up there, they're gonna bring up as well.
Exactly. It's like you guys have heard you're the sum of the 5 people you spend your most time with. Well, when you're in a room, I'm spending time with you. If I'm low energy, you're gonna match me. If I'm high, you have to match me. So that's literally it. That's my responsibility is bring that up so that we can make action and create that momentum in the moment. So seeing that this is a skill of mine.
What happened next?
Yeah, I needed to like dive deep and craft that. Like I needed to work on it. Like I was okay, but I needed to, grow and learn, what is speaking? Like, what's the goal? What's the objective? Like, how do you do this? So I began that, and I thought, like, who's my audience? And instantly, it's pharmacy. Like, you guys know, like, the Fit Pharmacist, that's what I do, is I specialize in helping pharmacy students and pharmacists to create their best life and dispense their potential so that they can serve to the best of their ability. So I thought, like, how cool would it be to speak at pharmacy schools across the country? That's my niche, like, that's my tribe. If you guys watching this are pharmacy students or you're pharmacists, you probably remember when you're in pharmacy school, they'd bring in speakers from time to time. And how many of them were out of practice for like 10, 15 years, talked about things that aren't even done in pharmacy anymore, just has this monotone research voice. And I'm sure they're great people and they've made awesome contributions. But when you come into it in a speaking element, for like all that we have to do in pharmacy school, that's just like not going to be well received because it's not relevant. You're talking about like outdated concepts. You're not really bringing your best, in my opinion, because your energy is just here. And I understand that some people just don't have that high energy. That's fine. But I really believe that your goal, your responsibility is to engage the audience, to really help them make a change in the moment and take responsibility to make that happen and follow through. So this is what I set out to do. I went and sought this opportunity. I'm like, okay, pharmacy schools. And guess what? No one wanted to hear me because I didn't do anything yet. So I got innovative and I got creative. I thought, okay, who do I know that could benefit from this? Who needs wellness programs? So I started talking at groups all across Pittsburgh, Heffron Tillotson, some other universities, trade shows, groups, like you name it, like I've been there. Then I thought, like, okay, this is something that I consistently get feedback that I have a gift. This is a unique talent that I have. So I need to really look at this from a business perspective. So I went to one of my friends, Steve Wise is a professional speaker. And he's like, hey, why don't you come to NSA, the National Speakers Association group, and hear this, and see, this is literally a group of professional speakers that do this as their only job. So I was like, that's cool. And you've all heard, like, if you're the smartest person in the room, find a new room. Well, in this room, I was not the smartest person when it comes to speaking. Like, I was prep before preschool in a university, right, type level. So it was very humbling, but very inspiring. Just like, this is my tribe. Like, I love this. This is awesome. So then there was a guest. Her name is Lois Kramer, and her niche is helping you to book more business as a speaker. That's her niche. And she has clients like Jack Canfield. You've heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul, the author of the whole series. Jeffrey Gitomer, author of the Sales Bible. So she's has some experience. She's been doing this full time, like most of her whole life. So I decided, just like you did, I didn't have the money. I went into debt for this because I believed in it so strongly, and I knew I needed to accelerate and pivot and grow myself, my skills, in order to deliver to the extent and quality that I was looking for. So I hired her, and I flew out to St. Louis, and we had an in-depth immersion weekend talking about just getting super clear about my strategies, about what I'm looking to do, what my impact is, who my ideal audience is, things like that. And that was amazing, like so rewarding. Like,
was that like one of the breakthrough moments?
That was a breakthrough moment because, again, she has worked with some of the best speakers in the world, literally, like. They have like Speakers Hall of Fame and all this stuff, and she's worked with a lot of them for many years. So she's very well experienced. So she's a consultant. And so I said, like, what do you think? She's like, I tell people, like, she's very blunt. I tell people if this is not for them. She's like, clearly this is for you. You're made for video. You're clearly have a unique gift in speaking. So this is something that you really need to dive into and look. And this is not her selling. Like, I had already paid. By this time. So this wasn't her stroking my ego or anything like that. She's a straight shooter. She'll tell you if you're not, where you need to improve.
So what I find interesting is, because a lot of people, they won't spend, that was a lot of money, right? That was a lot. She's a professional. She's been doing it for many years. So the service is really premium priced. And what I find interesting is a lot of people won't spend that money on them.
But they'll go to clubs and buy alcohol and bottle service and name brand stuff, and that might
Gucci.
Gucci life. And that might seem like, oh, that was just one time, but if you stack that over, you've actually spent more on that than investing in yourself, because you can't be able to do this stuff if you don't keep growing, if you don't invest in yourself. You should be the biggest investment you make in your life. Period. Regardless of if you're looking to be a speaker, increase your nutrition, whatever your career path is, whatever lights your soul on fire, you should be investing in that. Daily reading, groups, having coaching, like the Fit Farm Fam, hire me.
Hire him.
Things like that. Seriously, shameless plug again.
Yeah, man.
But that's what I do. I love working with people who are serious about making their goals become a reality. I've been doing that. I've been a nutrition coach since 2013. I've been a career strategist and really helping people create these kind of breakthroughs for the last 4 years, and it's been phenomenal.
I just want to give a really quick testimonial. If you heard the story one, clearly I wouldn't score the opportunity with Daniel and then later with Founder without your coaching.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's just like, it's shameless plug. It's true. Because I wouldn't.
It's all your work, though. So
but the coaching, though, like the coaching is what really changed the way I look at things. Because if I just out there with my old mindset keep doing, I might get that same spot. Maybe that was 2 years later.
And you know,
instead of 9 months.
Is when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
They change.
And look where you're at.
Literally.
But that's you because you decided to take that action.
Yeah. So just want to plug in that coaching because it really
I didn't pay him.
No, I didn't pay me at all. It's like actually a mutual podcast. That's why I really wanted to, really from a genuine spot is the coaching really accelerated my growth.
Thank you, man.
Because it's crazy to think, if you listen to, for who's listening, is like, during the episode 1 from this, our story podcast, part 1 of it, it's really, I can't imagine how from 9 months ago, I quit my job. That was November last year. I have 2 clients, not regular ones, like 2 clients. But now I'm getting ready to be hired at Founder and working with Daniel DiPiazza, and then making a documentary pretty soon, my first featured length documentary, and it's all from that coaching, from that mindset. Because you're right, everything starts with how we look at things. Everything starts with the mindset.
Yeah.
If we really change the way we think, the way we look at things, our reality will also change. So I just want to plug that in.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the changes that you've made, to do a little tangent here, one of my favorite posts you've ever shared on Instagram or any social media is you had a snapshot of your calendar for a month. And I hope you can find that and plug this into the video, because this is a visual, like, really cool thing. So while you were still working at your old business and you were kind of like half doing it, you had a picture of your calendar from this time when you were just before you really took the leap and had the breakthrough.
Yeah.
And there was like a thing here and there, but mostly white space.
Oh, yeah.
But then after you went all in, your picture, like, there was like, you didn't have enough space in each day. Like,
it's like 7 things a day. Yeah.
It looked like a book. So I hope that you can find that and plug this into the video, because that's so cool. Like,
I have it
just
on my
the
phone.
comparison, the before and after of taking massive action.
Thanks,
and
man.
the results that has.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming back to the story. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out, because that's so cool.
Thanks,
like,
man.
That's all you. That's all. I didn't
fun.
write that calendar. That's all you. I didn't do that. You did.
It just happened. Like, yeah.
It just happened.
happened.
From all the work and sacrifice and endless nights and all, it just happened. Yeah. But yeah, overnight success is
not true.
Not true.
Yeah.
And that's what this is about, is what it takes to get to these opportunities, these breakthroughs that just happen. There's a lot that goes behind it, but we just want to share what that looks like, so that if you're on this path, you haven't come to your breakthrough yet, know that it's coming as long as you keep going. That is the key with this. So back to my story, went through that. And again, so like your story, your ideal client is the big entrepreneur influencer that has all this following, and you want to tap in to spread that message.
Exactly, yep.
My ideal client is pharmacy schools, because I want to speak to pharmacy students. I know I know pharmacy students. I was a pharmacy student for 6 years. Wait, 4 years in pharmacy school. See, it just all bleeds.
Yeah.
But so that's my tribe. Like, that's who I want to serve. I feel like that's my calling, honestly. So that's my ideal client, and I'm trying, and then I'm getting these gigs, and through that, I'm building my skill set. I went into debt to elevate my speaking ability, hiring a professional business coach, hiring a speaking coach. So like I preach.
Invest in yourself.
Exactly. Like I say, like I practice what I preach.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just telling you to invest in coaching. I do it myself. So coming back to the integrity component.
Yeah, yes.
So I'm getting these. I'm getting bigger clients. I'm getting bigger audience with speaking. My skills elevating. I'm getting more innovative, and it's just clicking. Well, along that path, I've been reaching out and being consistent with pharmacy schools, pharmacy organizations. And I put in a lead like 4 months prior to this. And then I hear back, like, because at first it was a no. Like, we already have the spots filled. And then, out of nowhere, I hear back because they've been following me on social. They see that I'm consistent. They see that I put in the work, because I display what I'm doing. I get behind the scenes, like raw, real stuff. Like, this is who I am. This is my mission and everything. They're like, we have an opening for you to host a workshop event in Houston at a national pharmacy conference. So literally, pharmacists and pharmacy students, my ideal audience, will be here at a workshop, and I can teach on anything I want in Houston at a national
before
conference.
you go into that story, because that story is really cool.
Yeah.
Before you go into that story, tell us about all the work you've done. Like, tell us about like how much work it takes to actually be consistent with your social media, and how many articles you published on all the pharmacy magazines and all that work.
Yeah, so I'd have to actually think about it because it's just natural to me. I don't do it to like for glory or anything. It's just like I do it because I have an idea or like I want to learn more about something. So I research it, I interview someone, and then I share it. Like that's where the podcast came from. I wanted to learn from high achievers in pharmacy, so I did that anyway. So I thought, if I record this and share it, other people would benefit who wouldn't, take that approach to ask them. Or like whenever I research a concept or I'm struggling with stuff in pharmacy, whether that's staying fit or managing stress, I go out and read and learn and implement and I find what works. And instead of keeping that to myself, I'm like, this would make a great article. So I write it and share it and then it helps people. So I'm like, this is a win-win-win. That's how I do things.
How many articles?
So I've written over 200 articles since pharmacy school. I write for Pharmacy Times. I've written for Drug Topics magazine. I write a column for Pharmacy magazine in South Africa. I've been doing that for 2 years. Published a book. There's another book coming out.
Yeah.
This is going to be epic. It's going to be in every pharmacy school in the country, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
This has been over a 3-year project, and I'm really excited for it. Really excited.
I
this
remember
my
that.
legacy. For sure.
You were excited about it like the first time like we started working together. Like you just talking about that book nonstop with passion. It's been a passion of you. Yeah, clear and clear.
Yeah.
And what I want to touch on is there's no overnight success. The way you got into speaking with Snafel and doing like literally doing a whole workshop there, it's all like 200 articles. And hundreds, thousands of social media posts, like 3,000, 4,000 media posts.
Yeah, and I'll share this with you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of the amazing people in pharmacy, like Tim Ulbrich of Your Financial Pharmacist and other really high-ranking entrepreneurs that have been doing this for a long time, many of them in their full-time capacity, they didn't just approach me and be like, hey, let's chat. Almost every single one of them, the reach out went like this. I've been following your work for quite some time. I'd love to feature you or interview on a podcast. And when I dig deeper into what that means, they've been following my work for 2+ years. And this is something that I found with people that are very successful and very high up, is they use the test of time to validate or allow people to like prove themselves in a way. Not to say that you have to prove yourself, but again, actions speak louder than words.
Filter out people who's not consistent enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So people at that level get approached all the time by people who want to collab or they want to shout out or whatever, or they want to work with you, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But most of them aren't serious. They just want their ego polished or something like that.
Yeah.
But people at that, they see people that are genuine, that are putting in the work, and they just watch. And they just see what happens because actions speak louder than words. So if you're consistently putting out the same message, just innovating how you do that and growing as an individual and your skills in how to deliver that and connect with your audience and serve, that's what gets their attention. Not emails and gifts and things like that. It's the work that you do on a consistent basis. And guys, every contact, every collab I've ever done that's like really awesome has come from that simple concept, is people see what you do and they watch you. That's literally it. So if you're consistent and congruent with what you say you're about and that shines through, you're going to have success. You're going to have a tribe that supports you and wants you to grow. That's literally the secret. That's it. Just keep being you and being consistent with your work. So excellent point. Because that's where all these things came from, is just being consistent and trying to share my message and help people from a genuine perspective. Not like, oh, I did this for you, so you owe me. No, it's just like, I love this. I would love to help you do it because I want you to win because that's fulfilling. So let me help you, and then that's it. Like, I'm not asking for anything.
What's really cool is all those thousands of posts, hundreds of articles, and for you, from other people, it might seem, oh, that's so much work I have to suffer through. For you, I bet you don't feel that that's work.
Dude, I party. So, for example, last night I got home.
That's key, guys. That's key.
Last night I got home at 10 p.m. and I was so excited. Like I was excited because I found a new outro and intro clip for the podcast, which by the time you watch this, it'll be part of it. But I was literally playing it, like driving home, like just so excited, just like pumped up. So I get home, I have a snack, and then I just started to do work. I scripted 7 videos. I'm doing a video collab with Pharmacy Times. again, because I've been consistent in articles and putting in work over years, and they see my message and it's true, they want to elevate their relationship with me. So I'm doing videos with Pharmacy Times. That should be coming out hopefully soon. It's a whole video series. But I was excited because I was coming home to write 7 scripts for videos for Pharmacy Times. And I did that, and then there's some other awesome collabs, ones with a company and others with the 2 pharmacy schools. But yeah, by doing this, it was like 1:15 in the morning, and I wasn't tired. Like that was after heavy squats in the morning, and then working at the pharmacy till 9 p.m. and getting home at 10 p.m. Because that's just what fuels me. I don't I have to do this. It's just like I actually enjoy it. People are like, oh, you work so hard. Like, when are you going to relax? Like, if I was a multi-gazillion, billionaire, whatever, and I didn't have to work, this is what I would do. I just love it. Like, it fuels me.
That's so key, because you already know it's your truth.
Yeah.
It fuels you, and I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes there will be times where we feel like we kind of have to push through a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, that happens. Oh, yeah.
Overall, you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a fun growth process.
Yes.
But so yeah, that's what allowed this opportunity to come up, and I was so excited. Like, I hit him up, and I was like, dude, I got this opportunity. I'm gonna be hosting a workshop at a national conference in Houston. But what's cool, talking about full circle, the organization that I was most involved with, actually from a pre-pharmacy student all the way through pharmacy school, was SNAPHA, the Student National Pharmaceutical Association. During pharmacy school, I went to 7 conferences as a pharmacy student with SNAPHA. So now that I got to go back after being a pharmacist and serve not as an attendee, but as a speaker to host a workshop, like, that was just like such a full circle honor. Like, it was so freaking cool. But what's cool is I got the date of the conference, and it's the exact same date that you had your workshop in New York City.
Man, that blew my mind.
That was insane. So literally, we had our breakthrough on the same day of like, this is our path. And then we had our breakthrough for like opening all these doors for all the work we've put in for years before, and it culminates on the same day.
Yeah.
Houston, New York City.
Same
and I remember
exact day.
After I did the talk, I called him like, dude, it went so good. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then it's like, same for me. Like, everything's went so well, and it's like, things to happen.
And the one thing I did is I wanted to document my exact feeling immediately following it. So right now, we're actually going to pivot to a recording I did on my phone. I put it on Facebook Live on the Fit Pharmacist Facebook page, but we're going to cut to that clip right now. This is me, a pic of a short video of me and my feelings after delivering this workshop in Houston. So check this out. What is up, guys? I am just overwhelmed with gratitude. I just gave my mentorship workshop at the 2019 SNAPHA annual conference. I'm already jumping out the clothes, but I am just blown away by how amazing you all are. I gave my talk. It was phenomenal. Like, my goal was to just really deliver so much value for you guys and help you. I give presentations, and I tell you, I'm not a motivational speaker. If you want to get pumped up, go to the gym. My role is to be an empowerment specialist, to really help you to see the abilities, the skills, the power that's within you, and unleash that, to create an action plan in real time so that you can literally create momentum in the moment, so that you can script your success and make that progress happen in the room with me during the workshop. That's literally my goal, and we did that. I was blown away. There were over 100 people there. It was standing room only. All the seats were filled. People were standing around the side of the wall. You guys were so engaged. Those of you who came, thank you so much. I met pharmacy students who came up to me and shared really personal stories of struggles that they're going through, of undecidedness, of feeling lost, and finding hope in that because they have a desire and they're creating that mentorship. So it really was honestly one of the most special moments of my life. It's given me a lot of clarity that this is what I meant to do with my life. I meant to serve pharmacy students and pharmacists looking to really find that passion and drive to live a fulfilled career, not just a job, but to really find something that fuels them. And without a doubt, like I knew that was my purpose. I had a calling when I started on this journey many years ago, when I got into the speaking arena last fall. But this day today, it's July 27th, coming out of Houston. This day has confirmed that this is my path. This is my purpose in life. And that is something that I can't even put into words with gratitude. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for coming, for being supportive, for interacting, for being so loving and accepting, and the amount of love that was in that room. It was phenomenal, and I am just so, so grateful. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I want you to know that you matter, that you are here for a purpose. And if I can help you to find that or help it to get more clear, that's my purpose. I love you all. I wish you such an amazing weekend, and I hope to connect with you guys soon. Take care, and God bless. Okay, guys, that was my real reaction. Like, that clip was immediately after. Like, I did the presentation, I answered questions for actually an hour and a half following.
If you are on the podcast, you can check out. It's gonna be on the YouTube channel if you didn't see the video.
Yeah, that's why you guys definitely want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we have content on that for the YouTube, the video portion of the podcast that's not on the iTunes or SoundCloud version. So definitely go and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get this extra content that we're talking about in this podcast. But that's what's so cool is it was just so amazing. So those thoughts, those reflections, I'm glad I did that because that was in the moment. Like literally, I gave the talk, I answered questions, went right up to my room in the hotel, and I recorded this. So that's like in the moment footage. So glad I did that. But what's cool is by getting that one workshop and putting in all the work, all the sacrifice, all the practicing, hiring a speaker, doing all the engagements, speaking at businesses, speaking at pharmacy schools, all this stuff allowed me to prepare for this opportunity. Because when I gave this, guys, I've never felt more in my element in my life. This was my tribe. I spoke their language. I genuinely wanted them all to win, and it was phenomenal. Every seat was filled. It was literally standing room only. We were out of seats. People were around the room. But it was fully engaged. If you guys were there, thank you so much for attending. But it was an absolute blast. But I was just so in my element. But what I want to share is from all that work, from taking that opportunity and preparing every day like it's the day to do it, that gave me the confidence, the skills, and the practice to deliver and bring my absolute best to that moment. And from that moment, I have been invited to speak as keynote speaker to 3 pharmacy organizations and 7 schools of pharmacy across the country. Literally my ideal audience. And they keep coming. I keep getting referrals. I heard your talk. I want you to come into my pharmacy school. I want to introduce you to my dean because I was at your conference and I was just so moved and inspired. Like, I want to bring that to my pharmacy school. So that's literally living my dream out because I did all of this stuff. And that's what we want to share with you guys is you might be waiting for that ideal moment, that breakthrough moment, but it's never going to come. It's never going to work unless you work. So that's what this message is we all have those moments, that one opportunity, as Eminem famously sings. But you have to be ready for that. That's going to come at any moment unexpectedly. And you got to be prepared to pivot, to act on that when it presents itself. Because if you're not, it's going to be a regret, and you do not want to live with regret. So that's what I want to do this podcast about, because we're all about reflecting and learning from what we've done. And that's what we do, but we want to share it with you guys because you guys are obviously, really dedicated to your mission and what you want to leave for your legacy. So that's why we did this, is hopefully you learned some golden nuggets from our journey, from our struggle, so that you can implement them and bypass the mistakes and the sacrifice that we've made. You're still going to need to put in the work and make the sacrifices, but hopefully this inspires you at the very least, so that you can keep going with your mission and know that there is an end in sight. There's a beginning. There's a new beginning in sight. Your pivot, your
greatness
breakthrough
is coming.
The breakthrough will happen if you break through with you. So that's really it, is keep that grind, keep that going, man.
Exactly. So, I mean, all those, whoever is listening, I mean, even if you're going through tough times, know that greatness is waiting for you. It's all the hard work, all the grind, all the tough times are just preparation to that moment. If you keep that in mind, when it comes, you'll know it comes and you're ready for it. And that one little event, like you speaking Snafa, like me, going to Daniel's event, that's going to accelerate our career to the next level. And that's going to come for each one of you guys are listening. It's going to come.
And if you treat each opportunity like your big breakthrough, that's exactly what it will be.
Yeah.
Just like I tell pharmacy students on rotation, if you treat it like just a rotation, that's what it's going to be. But if you treat that rotation, that 5 weeks, like a job interview, guess what you're going to get at the end of that rotation? Guys, it works. Treat life like it is. Every day is a blessing.
Yes.
That's why it's called the present, because it's a gift. So don't waste it. Use it, and use it so that you can serve those that are in your life, because that is what we're here to do. Know that life is happening for you, not to you, and that the secret to living is in fact giving. So get out there, get after it, and dispense your full potential.